Hey basketball coaches and players, today I am going to talk to you about the UCLA Cut. Now, what is the UCLA Cut? Well, it's a type of cut and screen that was used a lot, primarily by the UCLA Bruins. And apparently it's 5 o'clock according to my computer. And let's get down to the clipboard, let's check out the UCLA Cut. So first, basically what we have is player 1 passing over to player 3. At this time, player 5 is going to set a back screen on player 1, player 5 starting again in the high post. Player 1 is going to use that screen and then cut towards the basket. Now this can be done as a 4-out, but again, this does usually also happen when you've got a 3-out, 2-in style offense as well, or a spread out 4-out offense where we could have player 1 pass over to player 3 and then make that cut around player 5. Now let's check out some plays that use the UCLA screen and cut. One very popular one that we see in the NBA quite often is this one, where we will have player 1 pass over to player 3, use player 5 as a cut, or as a screen, and cut towards the basket. If his defender follows him over and he's not open, what's going to happen now is he's going to then pop out towards the other side. And player 2 and 4 are going to set a staggered screen for player 1. At this point in time, player 5 is going to be setting a screen and roll for player 3. Player 3 is going to be using that screen, and player 1 is going to be using the staggered screen on the other side. Basically, what's going to happen here is player 3 is going to now have multiple different options. He could take the shot himself, he could pass to player 5, or he could pass to player 1 for either a layup or a 3-point shot. Another very popular one that I have seen is when player 1 sets a dribble handoff with player 4. Player 4 then gets that ball, dribbles over towards this side, and then passes over to player 3, and player 5 then sets a screen for player 4. Player 4 uses that screen and cuts towards the basket. If he's, again, not open, instead of player 5 setting a screen this time, what we're going to see is, let's say player 4 wasn't open to get that pass, he's going to set a back screen away, player 5 is going to then pop out, and player 2 is going to use that screen and then cut across the key and possibly have an open layup. If that doesn't happen, player 2 then can continue out, and again, now we are in our 5-out offense. And if you didn't know, the 5-out offense is one of my favorite offenses in basketball, and as a coach, it's very super simple to teach and run. Now, of course, you can go check out my complete 5-out basketball guide down in the description below. Now we're going to start in a high 1-4 offense, and in this play, what we're going to have again is player 1 passing over to player 3, and player 5 setting a back screen for player 1. Player 1 is going to cut through. If he's open, definitely hit him up for a shot. But at the same time, I want to see player 4 setting a screen away to player 2's man. Player 2 is then going to be cutting through, using now this time player 5 as a screen, and now this is going to be a staggered screen, but at the same time player 5 is going to be setting a screen for player 2, who's going to be then cutting down towards the basket, and at this point player 2 could then go for the layup. If none of this is an option, we're then going to have player 4 clear out, player 1 and 2 clear out, and now we're going to be setting a screen and roll with player 5 on player 3, because now we need to try and get somebody open. And this is a great way because at this point, of course, there's only 24 seconds in most leagues for the shot clock, and you need to get something open. And even if player 5 wasn't open and there was a fight through, now you can set up in a 5-out and do, of course, the 5-out basketball offense once again. Now, I hope that this video has helped you with the UCLA screen, but also a couple of plays that utilize that screen as well. I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time. Make sure to go check out my 5-out complete guide down in the description below.